Today, with it being 10 years to the day where we won promotion back to the Championship with that 2-1 win at Elland Road against Bristol Rovers, I thought I'd just look back at the team that day and what they're now doing 10 years on. So in goal that day we had Shane Higgs. Shane Higgs made 25 appearances in all for Leeds. 18 came in that promotion season. He arrived from Cheltenham at the start of that season. And he left at the end of the 10-11 following season, first season back in the Championship, where he played most of the season as second choice Kasper Schmeichel. He went on to play for Northampton, where he retired after that, so he's currently retired. In defence that day we had Lee Bromby, Yorkshire lad Lee Bromby, born in Dewsbury, brought up as a Leeds fan. He made a total appearances for Leeds of 55, with one goal coming away against Stockport. He arrived from Sheffield United at the start of the 09-10 season as well. Lots of injury problems Lee Bromby had. He retired at Leeds at the start of the 13-14 season, and he's currently academy manager at Huddersfield Town. With him in defence that day was Shane Lowry, second Shane on the pitch that day for Leeds. He was subbed in the 54th minute on that day, and we all know what happened after that, don't we? Born in Perth, Australia, total laps for Leeds 11. He arrived on loan in January 2010 from Aston Villa, and he went on to play for Sheffield United, Millwall, Leyton Orient, Birmingham. Went back to Perth and played for Perth Glory, and now he currently plays age 30 in Qatar with Al Ali. In defence as well that day was Scottish defender Neil Collins. Collins arrived from Preston on loan in March 2010 before signing permanently that summer. He made a total of 30 appearances for Leeds in all, and he left at the end of the 2010-2011 season. He went on to play for Sheffield United, Port Vale and Tampa Bay Roadies, where he currently manages them at the age of 36. In midfield that day we had Max Gradle. Max Gradle was sent off on the day, but luckily for him his teammates bailed him out and got the job done. He arrived from Leicester City initially on loan in October 2009, then he signed permanently in the summer of 2010. Ivorian international, he made 77 appearances, scoring 11 goals. He left for Saint Etienne in the summer of 2011. Then, following an injury-hit stint at Bournemouth, signed for French First Division side Toulouse, where he currently just been controversially relegated to the second division, with them now aged 32. Next to him, or in the midfield with him, there was Michael Doyle. The Irishman arrived on loan from Coventry City for the 09-10 season. He made a total of 42 appearances and left for Sheffield United at the start of the 10-11 season. He went on to play for Portsmouth and then had a second spell at Coventry. He currently plays in the National League with Notts County at the age of 38. Bradley Johnson was next to him in the midfield. Midfield 5 it was. Arrived from Northampton, Johnson did, in January 2008, although he went on a short-term loan to Brighton, having not initially been able to establish himself at Leeds. Johnson made 199 appearances in total, scoring 16 goals. He left for Premier League Norwich City in the summer of 2011 and stayed there for 3 seasons, and he followed that by spending 4 seasons at Derby, and he is currently playing for Bristol Rovers in the Championship, aged 33. Andrew Hughes was also in the midfield that day, and Hughes arrived from Norwich City in the summer of 2007. He made 116 appearances for Leeds, in all scoring just the 1 goal that came away at Millwall. in a 1-0 win. He left for Scunthorpe in January 2011 before going on to play 3 seasons at Charlton and finished his career at Bolton, although he didn't play any games for them. At the age of 42, Hughes is currently a coach and has coached at Bolton, Rotherham, and most recently he was a first-team coach at Huddersfield, but he left that job in January 2019. Also in midfield that day was Neil Kilkenny, and Kilkenny actually played against Leeds at Elland Road for Oldham while he was on loan from Birmingham a few days before he actually signed in January 2008. In all, the English-born Australian international scored 8 goals in 123 appearances for Leeds before moving on to Bristol City. Then he linked up again with Simon Grayson at Preston in 2013. In the summer of 2016, Kilkenny moved to Australian A-League side Melbourne City, and he currently still plays in Australia with Perth Glory at the age of 34. Now up top, the strikers that day played 2 up top, 2 up front, and they were Luciano Becchio. Now Becchio, he arrived at Leeds on trial for their 2008 pre-season tour of Ireland. He signed at the end of that summer, having played for the likes of Barcelona B beforehand. In all, he made 190 appearances, scoring 76 goals. That made him a very firm fans' favourite. He moved to Premier League Norwich in January 2013, but Becchio has just 42 appearances for 5 different clubs under his belt in 4 years, scoring just 8 goals. His last known club was in 2017, where he played for Bisayalem, who play in the 4th tier of Spanish football, but he's been without a club since leaving them in 2017. Still a hero for many Leeds fans, and by the look of his Instagram account, Becchio has still got a soft spot for Leeds himself. Partnering up front that day and captain on the day was Jermaine Beckford, and I'm perhaps saving the best till last here. Beckford, he arrived at Leeds in 2006 from London Wheelstone, where he played there part-time, as well as fitting windscreens for the RAC. 6 times capped Jamaican international, had loan stints at Carlisle and Scunthorpe before properly breaking into the first team. In all, Beckford played 126 times, scoring 71 goals, including the winner in this game and a historic goal to beat Man United in the FA Cup that same season. Beckford moved on to Premier League side Everton in the summer of 2010, followed by spells at Leicester, Huddersfield and Bolton, before linking up again with Simon Grayson in 2014 at Preston, where he played for 3 seasons. Then he called time on his career in 2019 after injury hit 2 seasons with Bury. He is currently a pundit and can be heard occasionally on LUTV and also on Football Focus. He also runs his own wellness brand called Supernova Living along with his wife. I think he still pops along to the odd Leeds game. Seems to be a fan of the club, and of course well liked by fans. So that was the starting 11 on that day. Now let's just quickly run through the substitutes. So substitute goalkeeper Kasper Enkegren is retired, age 40 now. Centre back Lubro Mikalik, age 36, plays in the Slovakian First Division for SKF in Iklinik Sirid. Johnny Howson, of course, we all know his involvement in this game, came on, scored with his first touch, the Morley boy. He's now aged 31, plays for Middlesbrough in the Championship, of course. Also on the bench that day was another fan's favourite, Robert Snodgrass. Snoddy, now 32, plays in the Premier League for West Ham. On the bench next to him was Sanchez Watt. He's still only aged 29, plays in the National League South Division with Wealdstone. Also on the bench that day was the American Mike Greller, who's now aged 33, and he's a free agent. And finally, final member of the squad on that day was Gary McSheffrey, who's now a coach at the Doncaster Rovers under-18s side. So that concludes the whole squad on that historic day for us 10 years ago to the day. Let's hope we can have another promotion on his hands somehow, however they feel fit to finish the league, but hopefully we'll be on his way to the Premier League. Marching on together, thanks for watching, I'll see you on the next one.